Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Decision Hour. I'm Adam, and with me, as always, Patty.
Adam, how's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. We've been on a hiatus, and I love the fact that we're back doing this now because it's like we get all serious. All right, we're gonna start the show, and then we start the show and we start laughing. So I love it. It's good to be back. We went on a little bit of a hiatus. But we're back, and we got a lot of cool stuff coming up for y'all here real soon. Patty, why don't you tell everybody, we're doing a series. We decided to do a series again.
Yes, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody what the series is about?
Okay, the name of the series, first of all, is Mind Shift.
Okay.
And I had this vision, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago. And I was texting Adam like crazy. I went on this trip to the Keys with a group from Camp Comeback, a nonprofit, which you should go see their website, campcomeback.org. It's ran by a group of cool volunteers like myself. Anyways, so that was my innocent plug there. But while I was on that trip, I swear I learned more in that trip than I had in a long time. It was such a refreshing trip. I went to encourage these military veterans on this trip, and man, I ended up getting so much encouragement. I was watching some of these guys with disabilities, and they're out there deep sea fishing, diving, and some of them ended up going wakeboarding. And there's one in particular guy who went, his name's Aaron. Oh my word. He's been such a fantastic friend now. So Aaron, he has a lot of weight to lose, and he was saying one day that he wanted to go walking, and if he had someone to walk with, then he would probably do it more and be more accountable. So I told him I'd walk with him, and we have been walking 3.5 to 4 miles each time we go out, at least 3 times a week now.
Wow.
But when that happened, I felt like my mind shifted. And so I was texting Adam, and I was like, Adam, we need to do a series on shifting your mind. So we came up with the name Mind Shift, and it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that was born.
Nice. I mean, I hear mind shifting or mind shift, excuse me. And, I think of self-help books like The Law of Attraction or, The Secret or, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think of stuff like that because you're ultimately shifting your mind, whatever your thought process is right now on something, or maybe you're wanting to, maybe we'll use exercise for an example. Maybe you want to, you've been thinking about exercising for a while and you've come up with every excuse not to. It's just a simple mind shift, right? Mm-hmm. I say simple, right? Because
it's not that simple sometimes.
It's not that simple all the time, but it is because you can just change your thought. Like, you know what? I'm not going to think I don't have time. I'm going to say I have time to do this. Let's go do this. I'm going to go work out and just do it. And it takes practice, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's true. I kind of feel bad because to be totally transparent here, I was up at 5:30 yesterday. I had an extremely long day. The plan was we were going to go walk. It was 10 o'clock at night or something last night. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't hang. I can't walk tonight because I was exhausted. So we're going to go tonight instead of yesterday. But it is a mind shift because there have been either mornings really early or in the evenings that I think I literally don't know if I have any more energy in me. And I'll get a text from Aaron and he's like, come on, I'm waiting. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have this disabled veteran, right? That he has some health issues and he's telling me I need to get out and walk. I need to get out and walk. I'm not disabled. I need to get out. I need to walk. So it is in a way easy to mind shift, but at the same time, sometimes our mind can be extremely dense.
Very.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I am excited about this. I, for one, have been working in the military veteran and caregiver community for 12 years now. And I noticed that the ones who are doing extremely well are those who have shifted their minds into a positive mind frame versus those who get stuck in that negativity. And I think that's with everybody in life, regardless of background. So let's shift our minds.
Yeah. I've been saying it for a couple of years with kind of everything that you look at what's going on in the world. You see a lot of negativity, on TV and you hear it on the radio and read about it in the papers or magazines if you still subscribe to that stuff. Or even on the internet, social media. There's just a lot of negativity, and I guess negativity sells. You know what I mean? It's like, but why can't positive stories sell? That's kind of reason why we're on HMG, Heroes Media Group, is because it's more of a positive. Like they're putting a twist on everything, and they want to bring a positiveness back into the world. And yes. This is so. I think what I want to do, Patty, is this is a series, right? Can you share with a couple people of like what they can expect over the next several, shows about, mind shift? What are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about?
So we have some amazing topics. One is the power of forgiveness.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Jealousy. I love that one because when I think of jealousy, I just imagine somebody like dripping green with envy and jealousy. Get that crazy, ugly mental picture, and how we can overcome that.
I immediately went to the Incredible Hulk when you said green.
I imagine like the slime on Nickelodeon.
Okay, all right, I dig it.
Another one is the art of saying no. Breaking out of your box or breaking free from your chains.
Man, these are some good ones.
How to slay your demons.
Wow. That one's, I think that one's going to be tough.
Yeah, because when you say demons, we're talking not so much the spiritual realm, but like
kind of like your inner
fears.
Yeah. Your inner demons. I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't let people shake you.
Like, don't be bothered by like what other people say and stuff like that. Is that what you mean?
Yep. You know your truth.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So, I mean, we have some great topics, and I'm excited to get going on them.
Let me ask you something. Those are all great topics, and I'm looking forward to those. Sounds like there was about 7 of them. Is that about right?
Yes, I had to go count them. Yes, there are 7.
So like one for each day, right?
One for each day of the week.
I love it. So like when you talk mind shift, what are some, is there anything that you do personally to like practice? Like if you feel yourself getting into a slump or anything like that, is there anything that you do to like try to change your mind about something or to shift your mind?
It happens a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to go and focus on like a negative thing. For instance, anything. Okay. So when I start to get into either a bad mood or I start to think about things that I really shouldn't think about, then I'll either turn on some music or I'll think about stuff that I need to do around the house, or I think about like I kind of had a really rough week last week, and so I decided to go get my car detailed, and that alone took like 2 hours. So I had to get out of the house. I went and I sat at this place while they detailed my car, but they had like coffee there and internet, and so I had to get out of the house. So it forced me to get out. So I try to do things that will force me to get out, and also on my calendar, I try to have one thing a day that I can accomplish.
Yeah.
Even if it's a small task, even if I feel like crap, basically.
All right. Okay. So
what about you?
I try to do like some breathing exercises because I full disclosure, there are times where I struggle a lot with mind shifting, and I always am talking about with people and family members and stuff like that. I'm always talking about try to be the positive, think of the positive. It doesn't really matter. But then when it happens to me, there's been times where I go off the handle. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I'm being transparent with y'all. And
Well, I know one thing you do
what?
that's good. You call me.
I do. I do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a select few of people where if I'm like in complete and utter rage,
Chaos.
yeah, I'm just like, what the beep 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 beep. Beep. It's like,
You know what happened?
yeah, and you're like, you're not gonna believe this beep, you know, and it's and once I get it off my chest, usually I'm just like, all right, that was a waste of time. I do feel better, but it's like, then usually within about an hour or so, if I'm still thinking about it, just kind of like if it's still like lurking in the background, so to speak, I end up just laughing it off. So,
Well, you think about it, a lot of things that we think are a huge deal are kind of funny.
yeah, and it's like, you know, it's funny because, you know, recently I was down in Arizona, and you know, I spent the last several weeks down there, and one of the things that we do, my parents have a ping pong table, so we would. It was like, all right, there's the family, you know, whether it was me and my son, me and my mom. Dad didn't get into it much, but like if we had like disagreements or something, we would settle it on the ping pong table, and whoever won was just like, no more arguing about it. It's done. You leave it on the table, and that's it. And we played a best 2 out of 3 at ping pong, and we played a lot of ping pong when I was down there. But it was we ended up laughing during the game and stuff like that. And by the end of it all, you forget like what you were even mad about or what you even disagreed about, you know? And it was just kind of like, and when sitting back, you're just like, what were even stupid that we're getting upset over stuff that isn't going to matter, you know, a year from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, whatever the case is. You really just need to, you know, if it bothers you, great, recognize it and then move forward from it. You really have to kind of put your mindset of, regardless of the situation, recognize what the situation is. Recognize that you probably don't have control over it. And then also recognize that, listen, if I don't have control over it, how much time am I going to waste thinking, dwelling, or whatnot on this? Because there's not a damn thing you can do about it anyway.
That's true, and it's hard to do, isn't it?
It really is. And but here's the thing: it's always easier said than done. You know, I sit here and I was telling somebody else this yesterday. He called me up and I was like, listen, man, it was a mind shift. It was before we were talking about doing the show today, and it was you know, I want to do this, I want to get into video. Okay, so picture that in your mind. You know, well, I got this, and this. Okay, cool. You're making excuses. Change your mindset and see yourself doing those things. And how does it make you feel when you think about it? Well, it makes me feel like this. Good. Then think about that. You know, it's a shift of your mind of, if you want something bad enough, then start thinking about it. And I mentioned like the law of attraction and stuff like that. We're not going to get into that. That's another show, but it's where it starts. You have to shift your mind to what you see and what you want, and then you got to kind of start working towards that.
It's true. Like in our first series, the Keeping It Simple series, we talked about goals. So if you haven't heard that show, go back and listen to that one, and that will help you with your mind shift.
Yeah, I like to think of, you know, your mind is the most powerful thing, right? And they say, what is it? They say, like, science says that you only use like 10% of your brain or something like that. You know, I mean, if I'm lucky, I use 3. So, I mean, what are you doing with that other 90%? You know, learn something, learn how to mind shift. Look at, you know, start reading. I don't want to say go out and start reading self-help books or anything like that. I did. It seemed to work. It just, but listening to positive things, you know, and it could be simple as, you know, when I'm in the gym, I have my music that I listen to in the gym. It's usually like, let's break something, let's, you know, rage, whatever, because you're lifting a lot of weight. When I'm in the car or when I'm at home, believe it or not, I'm listening to like classical, like piano music, something that's like calming, relaxing, or I'm listening to a book. But I had to like shift my mindset because I was like, grew up on 80s hair bands and stuff like that. So I was constantly listening to that stuff. And not that there's anything wrong with that, or country music or anything like that. But find something that relaxes you, and then shift your mind into that and get into that. Yeah, I totally forgot where I was going, but yeah.
Well, just so you all know, I just read that it takes 21 straight days to form a new habit.
Yep.
So that's really interesting. It says anywhere from 18 days to 254 days in another study, but typically it takes about 21 days.
Yeah.
So
what's holding you
21
back?
days is a drop in the bucket.
Right. Like get up and make it like here's another example. Getting up in the morning to go to the gym. Say your goal was like, I'm going to get up at 4:30 every 3 times a week to go to the gym. Then make that a habit. Do it. Put your mindset when you go to bed and like, oh, that alarm's going off. It's 4:30 in the morning. Like
snooze.
Snooze. Like if I kept hearing that alarm going off and like I'm literally like I'm pouring water on you. Like get out of bed. You need to go to the gym. But do stuff like that. Or maybe you take time out of your day and there's a specific time. Like if you go to work at say 8 o'clock in the morning and you work till like, your corporate job from like 8 to 4, 8 to 5, whatever. And you decide, what, I start at 8 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, I'm going to take my lunch. And then at like 2:30 or whatever, I'm going to take a 15-minute break and do a walk or something like that just to kind of stretch your leg and finish the day off strong. It's all, it's a thought process. It's your mindset. And that's what you need to, do. So with that said, this is our new series, Mindset. So, Patty, we're coming up on time right now. Is there anything else that you want people to know?
No. I guess just picture this new series as the Matrix. Mind shift, doesn't it sound so cool?
It does. The show's called The Decision Hour, so make the decision to change your mind. Right?
Yes.
All right, folks, that's all the time that we have today. We're happy to be back. Make sure you check out Heroes Media Group, our network. Go to heroesmediagroup.com. Check out all the great shows and everything else that's going on over there. They got some cool stuff coming out. www.heroesmediagroup.com. You can always follow Patty and myself on social media. We're on the Facebook, the Instagram. I think we're on the Twitters and stuff like that too. But look us up. If you got questions, give us a shout. Send us an email at thedecisionhour@gmail.com. Until next time, for Patty, I'm Adam. You've been listening to The Decision Hour.